All right, so guys, this is the last condition on the under conditional statement, right? And we call it switch, right? So now basically I'll be attaching an assignment to this video which you guys will be doing, and then you can choose to actualize it with if, you can use to actualize it with ternary operation, you can use to actualize it with switch, whichever works for you, right? Something about programming is that you should just get your answer at the end of the day, right? So yes, at the end of the video I'll be tapping it to, I won't really use voice notes at the end of the video, but I'll just be adding a text-based assignment which you have to, maybe when you get to the end of the video, you pause the video, then you go through the assignment, understand it, then you do it, then you know submit your assignment probably in the comment section on YouTube or in the group. So I'll look forward to your first test, because it's not just about watching the videos and doing nothing. It's about watching the videos and actually getting your hands dirty, because that's the only way you can learn how to code. So yeah, how do we use switch? Like I said, switch is also a conditional statement. Of course, we have to put everything in the void main, right, like this. Then let's say I want to check a condition if my name is really Ademola. What do? I'll say string name equals to Ademola, right? So now, how do we check switch now? Now, when checking condition with switch, the first thing you have to do is that you write the switch keyword like this, switch all small. Then you have this. Then you have, of course, the scope, just like if statement. Then in this open and close bracket here, which is the parentheses, you need to have all right. So as I was saying, so you have this open and close bracket now. So in this open and close bracket, you add the name. You won't check the condition there. You add the name of your variable there, or your variable. Yes. So in this case now my variable is name, so I'll add it here. Switch name. So now what do I want to do to the name? Because I just want to check, what's happening to the name. I want to check whether really the name is Ademola. So I'll say switch name, then I'll have a case like this. Now we use case to check okay, case where I'm having name as Ademola now. So I want to check a case where I'm having Ade. So is it true, right? So if this condition is true now, whatever it is I print will be correct, right? Let's say I have case Ade, then I say, and you have to have this semicolon at the end of the day, then you print. Can you see it now? So I can say this is my name, but not the correct variable, something like this. Then you have this at the end of the day. So now I can check another case, because you can check cases as much as you want. Case where the name is Ademola now, right? Then I can print now that, let me just copy this one, so I don't have to do anything again. So this is my name, and it is the correct variable. Can you see it now? So now if I run this code now, let's see what we get. So let's see what we get. So you can see this is my name and it's correct variable, because the case I'm actually checking here is that it is Ademola. So if I had like an exclamation mark here and I run this code, it won't give me an answer. Why? Because the name Ademola here is different from the name Ademola here because of the exclamation, right? So if we have cases where the cases we are checking, which are like the condition, each of the cases are like condition. So if you have case where the case we are checking is not correct, none of them met, like they are both false, then how do we check the actual condition? Now the way we check the actual condition is having a default at the end of the day. I have checked the case 1, I've checked the case 2, so after this thing I'll have a default. So I'll come here and say default, right? Sorry, default, like this will now be, I cannot print non them is my name, something like this. Just whatever it is you want to type there, then you run. So if it checks this condition, it is wrong. It checks this condition, it is wrong, then it will just check the default. It's more like having if, elif, and all those things. Then you have an else at the end of the day. You know, the else is that once neither of them is true, then the else automatically gets wrong. It gets run, and it becomes the condition that will be met. So I hope you understand. You can see now none of them. So this is ideal that whenever you are running an if condition, you should have a default at the end of the day, because that default is the one that will be true when every other ones is false. I hope you understand that. So another thing we have here is that in switch, now in switch statement, once you have empty cases, right, that is case where nothing is being printed. Once you have cases where nothing is being printed, it is ideal that you break it, right? You should break it. And the reason why you are breaking is because if you don't break, right, and that condition is true, default will be printed. What do I mean? I have Ademola here. You can see now case Ademola. Now Ademola is true, but let's say I decide not to print. Maybe it's a mistake, or I actually decide not to print like this, right? If I run this code now, let's see what will happen. Yeah, of course we can see that this case is correct, but I decided not to print. So let's see what will happen. Let's see. So ideally what should happen, I don't know if that's a network or something, but what should happen is that the code would automatically jump and print the default. It will automatically print the default. And so that's why it is ideal that whenever you are using switch statements, you should break your code at every case. You can see none of them is my name, and of course this is my name. Ademola is my name, meaning that I'm expecting this to be printed, but because I printed nothing, the default automatically will be printed. So that's why once we have a case that might be true or not, but then it is let's say the condition, let's say it is true, but then I decide not to print anything, you should add like a break there like this, right? So once you add a break there, automatically, right, the default will not be printed even when it is true, or even when there is nothing that is printed, right? You just leave it as empty. I don't know if you understand like that. So that means I always advise people that whenever you are using switch statements, if you want to avoid this kind of trap, then you should be using break after you, at the end of the day, you can just come here and say break, right, break, and even after the default I can also break like this. It won't give you any error, right? So when you run the code, it works. And if I maybe choose to add my print here and then I run it, even with the break, it will run and it will be correct, right? This is just more like something to check whether you are on the right track or not, just to be on the safer side. I hope you understand. You can see. So another thing is that if you can check here, this is that 3.5.4. now in that 2, I can't do something like equal to, less than or equal to, or something, right? For example, I don't know if you have enough time to do this, but okay, let me just do this in the next class, because we only get to record 10 minutes class. So I'll do this out. This will be switch condition 1 or switch statement 1, and I'll do the other one in the switch statement 2, just to explain what I'm trying to explain now. Then I'll be attaching the exercise to the other switch class. So thank you guys.